Hello there. I'm tired and I do not feel good, but a new Minecraft movie trailer got released and I have seen it, and my expectations were previously in the toilet for how good this movie might be. And safe to say they have risen. I do not feel like this movie will be a total and 100% complete failure, but I do think it is still going to be atrocious. And in order to explain what in the trailer made me think there's even some semblance of hope in this movie, we are going to break it down in sections. So if you have not seen the Minecraft movie trailer or the Minecraft movie trailer 2, then this I think should be fairly decent. Now, I have not actually gone through and broken down the first one, but I feel like its release was just so like almost infamous that if you have not, if you like, everyone who cares has an opinion on the first trailer. But I didn't even know the second one got released until I saw a different creator make a video on it. So we're gonna go break it down by sections and really, I'm gonna explain why do I think there's hope even remotely.
Minecraft trailer, take two.
I am Steve.
So the trailer opens with a bee that looks like it's covered in 80s shag carpet your parents conceived you on, and just slaps into the camera before it starts its exposition dump. Now, I don't like the bee. The bee looks weird. Even in the game, the bees looked weird, but I know in real life I think they are somewhat fuzzy, but not shag fuzzy. But I don't know why they are so leaning into the Michael Keaton Batman line that they have to keep it in both trailers. And I think, we're going to have a bingo card. Just have like in half of them just be the phrase "I am Steve." See how many he gets. It goes to, like the Nether, gets on like a fortress. Like you have like King Pig that looks at Steve and he's like, "Who are you? Why are you here?" You know exactly what he's going to say. He's going to say,
I am Steve.
but even just opening, the tone feels different than the first movie, because the first one was almost kind of like basically like a straight rip off of Jumanji. You have no names being hurled into a video game and trying to find their way out, but now it feels like it's more like Steve telling a life story, and I don't hate that direction. I think it could be interesting if it's almost like an audio essay style biography, but the rest of the trailer does not make me think they're going to lean into that. And if they are, they're most definitely not going to do it well.
As a child, I yearned for the mines, but something always got in the way. Go on! Get out of here! But the call of the mines was too strong. So one day, I started digging and digging until I found
The Tesseract. You found the Tesseract. Like that's not even creative. It is a one-to-one rip-off. You're about to get like a visit from Thanos in about 30 seconds looking for that thing. I mean, so the questions thus far are A, like, is Steve just supposed to be just just some average Joe Schmo who, like, Indiana Jones style, stumbled across an artifact that was able to build a portal to a different dimension? Is that what we're going with so far? And if that's the case, if Steve had to use that to get to the overworld, how exactly do the four new protagonists get from point A to the overworld? And if like even in my last video talking about like making a new Minecraft story, making new things for the movie, like locations and things like that, but I feel like an entire new, I don't want to say game mechanic, but just something like a piece of the story that the foundations aren't even in the game. It's like they basically took the Aether idea and decided that that was going to be the entire piece of the puzzle, and they're going to build an entire movie directly off of that. And I don't like it.
this. A wonderland where anything you can imagine is possible. As long as what you imagine can be built out of blocks. Atta boy!
Where are we?
Wait, who are you again?
Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison. Gamer of the Year 1989. Whatever. I barely think about it.
The more I hear of Jason Momoa's character, the less hope I have for this film. It is his throughout the rest of the trailer, he is going to be by far the absolute worst character you can think of. Also, does he call himself the Garbage Man? Is he a garbage man in the movie? If so, it's terrible writing. It's garbage. Come on. I didn't even realize that pun. I don't know. There wasn't a pun. I don't know. I'm sorry. Anyway, for this section, I just need to highlight the fact his character is terrible. I've heard a lot of people breaking down the characters themselves, thinking that they're very like one-dimensional and unlikable, but I think that most of them have the potential at like a redemption, except for Jason Momoa's character, because his is just terrible. I mean, come on. It's like, who was the giant floating head from Regular Show? That's who I feel like this character is.
Welcome to the overworld. Anything you can dream about here, you can make.
Now let's have some fun.
This place makes no sense.
Don't I know it? There are dark forces who want to destroy this world.
So here's where the review will start to get positive, just because I feel like this is where some of the good things start to shine. So first of all, they actually start to flesh out the story. And they have villages, and well-established villages. Now, even I mentioned actually having some kind of a village like set up so it made the world feel less empty. And I like the idea that with them being there, not only are the villagers advanced in this the quote unquote game mechanics, but I feel like they feel lived in. So that's a little quality of life thing that I can really appreciate. Second is actually the scene where the ghast blows a fireball into the mountain. That looks fantastic. I like the way I just like the way that was animated, and I like the way that the whole thing looked. And I still think the wolf is garbage. I don't know, I know they were trying to replicate the wolf style in Minecraft, but it just doesn't work here. And ironically, the ghast, I think, is going to take home the award for the best looking mob in this entire trailer. So also I do like the fact how they're leaning a little bit more into, I think, what Dungeons was. I know nothing about Dungeons, Minecraft Dungeons, that is. I know very little, but it does look like they're trying to lean in towards that storyline where the Nether is trying to take over the overworld. And I'd be curious to see exactly how they set up the motivations for the piglins to do that. But I do like that kind of story, how it's like a last stand. It's them or us. Got to defend the overworld. So it's not like they're it's not like they're trying to rip straight Jumanji. Yeah, they kind of are.
If we want to stop them, we're going to need to create something amazing. Let's go to the stash.
This is our decision. Nothing we can do. We've got the vision. Now let's have some fun. Yeah.
What's this junk?
An ender pearl. Teleports you to wherever you throw it.
Yeah, right.
And that was the only one I had. No biggie.
We were fated to pretend.
Oh yeah, there's one more thing you need to know.
Great. Now it's dark. That feel quick to anyone else?
first thing I want to mention is that scene where it's like the Terraria camera angle where Jason Momoa is in the hole trying like frantically trying to dig out, where you have like 31 skeletons shooting arrows down directly on top of him and all of them miss like 6 shots apiece. That was I don't know what that is. There's not a single bit of anything in that movie that is going to make that look cool. Um so what was that? Second, the elytras. Oh my goodness, is that one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life? I mean, so a lot of everything in the world kind of looks paper mache, but those like I mean they bought the elytras at a discount costume shop. Those things are like actually made of cardboard, especially on Jason Momoa. Wow, is that pathetic? Um Also, it kind of takes the majesty away from the elytra if like Steve already has like 15 of them that he can just like give up willy nilly, or if any of them have like that many of them. The whole thing about the Elytra is that's like the end game tool. You get that after beating the dragon, you get that after, just progressing. Where in this movie, it kind of seems like all the real mystique around the end and the what lies behind, or especially at least the bare minimum, the rewards of getting there are pretty much gone. So I think that was really bad. And the zombies, they look terrible. The skeletons, not much better. Um, the way, like, especially if you go back and look at the armor stand in Steve's library, the proportions of that whole thing are awful. And outside of that, the only really interesting thing about this trailer that I'm glad I got to see is the direction they're taking the story. Outside of that, I was disappointed by pretty much everything else. So on a scale of 1 to 10, we're currently at a 2. So hopefully they just decide to scrap this entire film and start over. But I really don't know. And even there's just so many better ways they could have gone about this. And the one thing that I'm now thinking of, like this literally just hit me right now. The portal that Steve and I guess the protagonists of the film used to get to the overworld, why is that a brand new portal? Why couldn't you use like the ancient city style thing? Or are we going to get that portal in the game? Like if the Minecraft movie is supposed to be just that, the Minecraft movie, then that means at least like obviously not going from real life into a video game, but I feel like the portal system should be identical, or or the playing experience and the movie should be at least somewhat identical, which is kind of why the idea I leaned into the idea of like you just woke up and that kind of thing, where in this film it kind of seems like they're just throwing away the entire beginning of the game and just doing their own thing. So I'd be curious to see if any other trailers come out, but until then, we lie and wait. Peace.